South Africa was a shining, gorgeous, beautiful, safe country. And then the left and the Democratic Party and the UN, the globalists came in. They removed apartheid, and the South Africans wanted to get rid of it. And then it just got more anti-white, more intense, more vicious. The crime exploded. Civilization collapsed. They don't have electricity but a couple hours a day at best. Almost no medicine. It's gone. Now, it doesn't matter that it's got incredible natural resources, rare earth minerals, diamonds, everything. Oh, those are all there. The big multinational corporations are all there. They're making more money than ever. But you never hear CNN talking about the big multinational corporations extracting all the wealth, because none of it now goes into the government or the infrastructure. And the corrupt communist black leaders that stay in power, the ANC and the rest of them, they all live in their big palaces and could give a rat's ass about all the starving black people. And then they always point at the rural areas and the Afrikaners.
So if the Afrikaners don't actually like the land, they can leave that country.
They are. They're leaving to come here.
No.
These refugees are coming here.
They can actually leave and go to where their native land is, which is probably Germany.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this South African white Afrikaner refugees fleeing massive political, cultural, racial genocide is outrageous. The fact that the Democrats and the NGOs and major so-called Christian charities that get federal funds are literally saying these are bad people because they're white. Tens of thousands have been killed in just the last few years. We have countless videos of the official government rallies, the communist government, chanting, kill the Afrikaner, kill the white devil. Everybody's seen these clips. There's hundreds of them. And they have memorials around the country listing when they were killed, what happened. And because of the tribal hatred in Africa, and if you study South Africa, it's fascinating, and how the Christian missionary settlers 450 years ago, just like they came here, got there, and they brought how to make wells, how to metallurgy, how to grow crops. The African populations exploded anywhere there were whites. And the technology, it's a fact. And you had all these different tribes in South Africa, with South Africa today, killing each other. And so you have to understand, if you study South Africa, it's probably been in the past, you know, until civilization got set up, the most violent area. And there are a whole bunch of different tribes there, but three big ones. And the main one, of course, is the Zulus. But then the other African tribes gang up on them, so, and it's a complex history, but a lot of times the Zulus end up siding with the Afrikaners, and then the British come in to kill the Afrikaners because they're Dutch, to take over, and then, you know, the Zulus fight the British. So when you hear all this in the liberal media, and, you know, you watch Hollywood movies about South Africa, like Lethal Weapon, and it's just, they're all Nazis, and they all hate the black people, and they all deserve to die. When really, South Africa, if you had to describe it before it totally collapsed, they replaced apartheid with black nationalist communism. And I'm not defending apartheid, but they replaced arsenic with cyanide, and cyanide's way worse. You know, about 100 times more poisonous on average. So if you study South Africa, the easiest way to describe it would be the South. Like, that's the relationship between blacks and whites. And then there are a lot of poor white people as well, a lot of super poor black people, some successful, wealthy black people. But it's like the South until the communists took over. Except Imagine the South, but you still have all of the different Native American tribes, but they're not out on their reservations, you know, watching satellite TV like most of the Native Americans are doing around the U.S. No, they're running around killing each other because you think the Crips and the Bloods kill each other. And so South Africa was a shining, gorgeous, beautiful, safe country. And then the left and the Democratic Party and the UN, the globalists came in. They removed apartheid, and the South Africans wanted to get rid of it. And then it just got more anti-white, more intense, more vicious. The crime exploded. Civilization collapsed. They don't have electricity but a couple hours a day at best. Almost no medicine. It's gone. Now, it doesn't matter that it's got incredible natural resources, rare earth minerals, diamonds, everything. Oh, those are all there. The big multinational corporations are all there. They're making more money than ever. But you never hear CNN talking about the big multinational corporations extracting all the wealth because none of it now goes into the government or the infrastructure. And the corrupt communist black leaders that stay in power, the ANC and the rest of them, they all live in their big palaces and could give a rat's ass about all the starving black people. And then they always point at the rural areas and the Afrikaners, who were the first to get there. And why did they go there? Because they were Protestants and because there were big wars in Europe and there was the big orange fight and all the rest of it in the Netherlands. And so you had Christian Protestants flee to the colonies, even before they were colonies. That's the Mayflower and all that. And you had them flee to the Pacific Ocean, to Africa, to South America, to Mexico, to Central America. That's why you can go anywhere where there's good places to grow crops, and you will find different varieties of German and Dutch, mainly, some English, Protestants. We know them, and there's different sects, as Mennonites, as Amish. So people in America, whether you're black or white, everybody knows, are the Amish mean? Are the Amish out committing crimes? So when you see CNN, MSNBC, and the head of the Episcopal Church saying these are bad people, these are white people, we stand with the blacks in South Africa, and of course, the Episcopal head guy has been to Africa a lot. He knows who he's siding with, but he knows his idiot constituency doesn't, his parishioners, who aren't in an Episcopal church. They're in a globalist, communist New World Order system where the NGOs, have bought them all off. He's literally talking about Amish. Super religious, basically no crime. And now the communists have taken their guns, just like they did in Rhodesia, north of there, Zimbabwe. And now they're just slaughtering them. And under Obama and Biden, it's in the news, they wouldn't let South Africans come to the United States, white South Africans. Real refugees from real genocide. And then the corporate media sits back and acts like that none of this is happening, that nobody's being killed. MSNBC calls Trump racist for granting asylum to white Christian refugees from South Africa. We have a real asylum system. When somebody's really being exterminated for real, then they can come here. White farmers tortured with drills and blowtorches. That's the standard thing. It's like a sport. The favorite thing is to put babies in boiling bathwater. Remember, Winnie Mandela famously said she loves necklacing. and gave a speech saying, I love necklacing. And she was talking about killing a particular African tribe that she's taken part in necklacing, where you tie somebody up, arms and legs, and put their head in a tire with gasoline in it and light it on fire. So all that's left in South Africa, infrastructure-wise, is the Afrikaners. And they will soon be gone. I want to show you some statistics here. South Africa effed around and found out. White farmers currently produce 95.3% of the country's corn, 98.7% of their wheat, 97.6% of their cotton, 97.2% of their citrus, 99% of their potatoes, 91.4% of their tomatoes, 96.9% of their soybean, 95.8% of their poultry, 66% of their cattle, 89% of their wool. Everybody knows the Dutch are the best farmers in the world. And these are Dutch. And again, the British, 120-something years ago, led by Winston Churchill as their main propagandist, went down there and took over the country. And a bunch of the African tribes fought with the Afrikaners, but they lost. And then it goes through apartheid and all the rest of this. So these people have been there for 450 years. They literally built the infrastructure. And just like Zimbabwe, north of there, formerly Rhodesia, let's put those articles back up. First, Mugabe says, I'm going to take your land. Then he says, I'm going to take your money. And then they kill him. And then all that was left was people that were too old to leave. And so by the thousands, the Africans went and raped and murdered them. 2014, Mugabe, whites can't own land in Zimbabwe. 2015, Mugabe is asking back the white farmers he chased away. Zimbabwe pleads for $1.5 billion in food aid to prevent mass starvation. So, and again, Zimbabwe is just north of South Africa. It's the same thing, same people, same deal. So here are the Afrikaners that just basically Amish light. And the lowest crime rate of people in the world, just like Amish. And this is who, literally living out in the middle of nowhere with lions running around. You can pull this up. I mean, like, imagine you got a cornfield and there's lions running around in it. These are the people that you have evil leftists on TV saying are devils. You can go to Brazil. You can go to Uruguay. You can go anywhere in South America, and the locals will tell you when you go into the areas that this is where the Amish are. And in South America, everyone loves the Amish. They treat them like they're unicorns or something. Because down there, they're smart, and they're like, these people have green thumbs, and everywhere around them is success. And so they go and beg them in South America to be part of the government, and most of them don't want to. But now to protect themselves, they are getting into government. So devout Christians that don't even leave their farms but a couple times a year and just flood the countries with success they're in, these are the pilgrims that founded our country. It's the same people. And they reduce it down to genocide. These are the people that didn't want to get in the wars. Just like the first people that came here didn't. But you know what the Native Americans did immediately? They'd say, you're going to help us take out the neighboring tribe or we're going to kill you. That's how it really worked. That's the history, and I'm not demonizing Native Americans. That's how savagery works. So, South Africa, the government is officially taking their land. They are wink, wink, nod, nod, having them wiped out and killed. And then South Africa is already a collapsed hellhole. When the last whites leave, or the last whites are killed, South Africa will completely sink into the mud. BBC, white South Africans going to the U.S. are cowards, says the leader of South Africa. He said more than that. We're going to read his official government post on X, where he says, "How dare you try to escape us? We're working with the international groups to keep you from fleeing justice." Justice? You talk about killing the golden goose, but this is how tribal communism works. So Trump absolutely should not go to South Africa for the G20. We should absolutely boycott it. And then when it totally collapses, maybe we can go help them with an aid mission to set up a real republic. But here's the key. If you want to know what the left wants to do in Europe and America with all the brown people they bring in and then teach that white people are bad, if you want to know what it's going to look like, it's the same plan here. And you've got these pundits on CNN, we'll play the clip in a moment, going, you know, these people need to go back to the Netherlands, back to Holland. She says, they need to go back to Germany. And the other host goes, they're actually from Holland. Oh, okay, yeah, Holland, yeah, where their ancestors sailed off on sailing ships 450 years ago with, Jesuit priests chasing them on the dock, shooting at them. Yeah. I mean, that's why they ran. They had their farms already taken once. So their ancestors got their farms taken and they ran for their lives from white people coming after them because they're peaceful. And now it's happened again. But you know what the Bible says, the meek will inherit the earth. In the case of Protestant refugees from Catholicism, it is certainly true and historic. And I'm not attacking Catholicism, folks. This is just stuff that goes on. It's history. Everybody knows it. So that's the reality of this. So I've got a bunch of these disgusting clips. Let's play the Episcopal Church Bishop, Sean Rowe. It's against what we stand for to help white refugees fleeing South Africa. I mean, think of the statement, because they're white. He doesn't even deny they're being killed. He says, oh, I'm friends with Desmond Tutu. What does that mean? So he's a Jesuit, okay, or Catholic, and then you got the communists down there, and so these people are literally fleeing for their lives, being genocided, and you won't even admit that, and you don't want them to escape, and then the corporate media ignores the South African Communist government bloodthirstily saying, we're going to get you. I'll read that quote in a minute. But it's just like everything else you see, the 20-to-1 black on white crime. And they tell you all over the news, whites are running around killing blacks everywhere. And they want to train black people to think white people are their problems. And it's not working with most black people in America. That's the good news. But it is working in places like South Africa. And so it's the complete ignorance of the average American about history in the world that allows things like this to happen. Oh, South Africans, white ones, I don't support them. We get billions in government aid to resettle people, but really aren't refugees. But when we have real people fleeing genocide, they're white, we can't help them. Pull all the funding from the Episcopal Church. Pull all the government funding from them. They're not a church, they're a globalist weapons system. And you know the other NGOs are doing the same thing now. So play him. Here it is.
We can't be ourselves in the Episcopal Church and take the step of resettling white Afrikaners from South Africa. Our church has a long commitment to racial justice and reconciliation, and we have historic ties with the Anglican Church of South Africa. Desmond Tutu is a part of been a partner in this work for us. So we're just not able to take this step. It's not in line with anything that we're about. And
I mean, that's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. They're white, therefore they are bad. Don't need to know anything about them. Just, they deserve to die. Now, here's a TikToker threatens the immigrants from South Africa and says they're all racist and Trump brought them here to be racist and that they're going to be attacked and beat up. They're going to get their asses whooped. So here's some racist idiot black guy, has no idea about South Africa anyway. Here come a bunch of Christian Amish. That's what they are, with their little American flags in the big city. And you're South African? I'm going to hit you in the head with a hammer. What the hell? Have you ever met any of these people? It's just like meeting an Amish person. They're very quiet, nice, yes, very serious. Thank you. Jesus loves you. But it doesn't matter to these people. Oh my gosh, I saw a lethal weapon where the evil South African government guy is racist to Danny Glover. So I'm going to beat the hell out of anybody that's white from South Africa. Oh, like Laura Logan? We need to get her on about this. She's South African. Isn't she a big old meanie? I mean, when she's getting gang raped by 100 Muslims, you know, she deserves it. She's white. Uh-huh. Yeah, she's real bad, isn't she? We don't want any of those people around here. Here's a clip.
I need y'all to realize what Trump just did. He brought 8,000 white people out here from South Africa, not because they need refuge, not because they need asylum. It's because he knows these 8,000 white South Africans are racist. He knows they finna come over here and they're gonna be blatantly racist, thinking that they still in South Africa. But these 8,000 racist is gonna find out the hard way. They're gonna around and find out. You can't talk that here on our soil. So what's going to happen is that these people are going to start getting their ass whooped because they think it's okay to talk to us any old kind of way like they did out there in South Africa. Then we start lumping up because they don't know how to talk to black people in America. Oh, here comes another executive order. Here comes another executive order to protect white people, just like they do Asians, just like they do the Jewish. Watch what I tell you. All these racist white South Africans that were brought here to America are going to be talking to a lot of them going to get lumped up. Then the news going to spread, oh my God, black people are hurting South Africans. This has to be racist. Executive order, I dare a black person to put their hands on another white person. It'll be considered a hate crime. Just watch. This is exactly what's happening. Remember, he wants chaos. This is how you create chaos.
This guy thinks that Trump is like dropping MS-13 Nazis into the country when they're Christian farmers, and that they're going to run up and say, you're black, you're my slave. Oh, believe me, they've been fighting for their lives. No, they're just going to be scared of you, sir. And if you're nice to them, they'll be nice to you. Oh, they're going to walk over and be rude to you, and you're going to have to beat them up, huh? When they're fleeing, black people killing them? What an idiot. No, they're going to go get land and hide and go to church like they've been doing for 450 years since they ran for their lives from the Netherlands. Good Lord. These people are the original refugees. Or you could say the Jews are out of Egypt. Unbelievable. I'm going to come back with more on this. It gets even crazier. But man, ignorance is just death. It is so horrible. Oh, there's another South African we know about. Elon Musk, these people, these white South Africans are just, they're terrible. I mean, just look at what they do. We'll be right back. Stay with us. 10 more minutes or so to finish up with South Africa. And we're going to get some guests on about this, but it's just incredible to interviewed a lot of people from there, been fascinated with it, read a lot of books about it, and to then see what's been done in other areas of Africa where they got rid of the Dutch farmers that came there hundreds of years ago, and how those places collapse, and how they're involved in an open genocide publicly. And the government says go out and kill white farmers. The president and vice president get up. We played the clips before. And to crowds of hundreds of thousands and say, sing the song, kill the Afrikaner, kill the white farmer. And then they do it. And then Biden wouldn't let them flee. Those that wanted to flee, a lot of them are saying they're staying to the end. And you get CNN pundit, an Obama campaign official, currently an analyst at CNN, Ashley Allison, is on her ignorant racist rant and says, don't let them go to America. Have them go back where they came from in Europe. Oh, so white people can only be in Europe, but Europe belongs to everybody else too, right? And so, again, the globalists know that there are 93% of the world is not white. And if they can just teach them to make everything about being anti-white, they can organize those groups to take over and destroy a country, and then the globalists come in and set up whatever they want after that. It's very simple. And that's why the universities and the system in Europe and the United States, all the West, teach the liberation theology and that whites are the problem and evil, so that while the globalists bring in their New World Order control grid, we're all too busy fighting with each other and killing each other. So here's a clip from CNN.
And part of that is that the people who are native to that land deserve their rightful land back. That is not what the Afrikaners actually want to have happen, which are the white Africans, and so who are not originally from Africa, who colonized South Africa also. And so that is what they are saying is discrimination. Now, if the Constitution in South Africa is discriminatory, they have their checks and balances in that land, just like we do. And that is for them to, so if the Afrikaners don't actually like the land, they can leave that country.
They are. They're leaving to come here.
No. They can
These
leave
refugees
and go,
are coming here.
They can actually leave and go to where their native land is, which is probably Germany.
Are you
or
against them coming here?
Holland, probably.
Holland. So they started leaving 450 years ago, and they colonized all over Africa, sub-Saharan, and then the populations exploded of blacks around them because now there was food and agrarian civilization. The tribes in South Africa were hunter-gatherers. So there was only populations big enough for what they could, fish and pick berries and get bitten by cobras and eaten by lions and all the rest of it. And so in come these farmers, civilization develops, and this woman says, doesn't matter you've been here 400 plus years, doesn't matter. You have no claim reparations. This land belongs to all these people. And then if you study it, in the last couple hundred years, massive migration from north of South Africa came in, and then the original black tribes down there absolutely hate them. But it doesn't matter. You're white, so you're bad. We're going to kill you, and we're going to take your property. Yeah, there he is on TV saying it. And then when you try to run, no. Let's work with the UN and the NGOs, Episcopal Church. You stay right here, I'm going to kill your ass. I'm going to rape and murder your baby and your wife because you're a white devil. And the head of the Episcopal Church says, that's right. They're white. We stand with the black communists. Murder those whites. Murder them, murder them, murder them, murder them, murder them, murder them. cutting this special announcement on Friday, May 9th, 2025. That means you've got 3 days to take action on this. We are extending the flash sale till Monday at 2 p.m. Central to get a free bottle of ultramethylene blue. It is incredible. If you get 2 bottles already discounted, the 3rd bottle is free. We launched this sale just yesterday. It's the most popular ever. And despite the fact we're selling out fast, I want people to get a free bottle, and I want folks who never tried our ultramethylene blue to get it. It is so amazing. So get your ultramethylene blue, whether you get 1 bottle, 2 bottles, or 3 bottles, right now at thealexstore.com. But if you get 2 bottles, the 3rd bottle is free. Also, Optimal Human, all of the known super nutrients, kitchen sink thrown at you, so good for everything, energy, it's amazing, is back in stock finally, and it's discounted as well at thealexjonesstore.com. We sell you products that really work. So you want to come back and get them? Thank you for your support. Now get yours now.